Okay.
Okay. So I think we discussed till here yesterday. We continue from here. So we discussed what we discussed. We came to DMO. DMO we started using DMO from sum 1.0 greater than SP fact 9. Okay, and we have different types of migrations, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means source and the target remain the same, like OS and DB. Heterogeneous means either source or target OSDB gets changed. It means when we try to do migration on HANA servers, it could be always a heterogeneous because we are moving from Windows to Linux, Oracle to HANA. Okay, or some systems are on Linux to Linux, no problem. You are on Red Hat Linux, you need to move to SUSE Linux, no problem. And we are in Oracle or Cbase or DB2 MaxDB, need to move on to Oracle HANA. It means simply it's a heterogeneous environment only ongoing to work because OS or DB or both may get changed when you try to do migration from Oracle to HANA database. So I have few examples. Like your OS is what? AX in one system, and here OS is HPUX, but here database remains the same. So it's what we can call this here. We can call it as a you can call it as a OS migration. You can call it as a OS because from AX we are trying to jump on to HPUX. OS it changed, so you can name it as a OS migration. Now come down. Here we have AX, also AX, OS remains same, but your company decided to change your database. You are on Oracle, but you need to move to DB2. It's known as a DB migration. It's known as a DB migration because it's not understood now why it's called as a OS migration, why it called as a DB migration. Now we are in Unix. You're in Unix and you're going to SUSE Linux. You're on Unix or Windows because many systems are on Windows also, no problem. But you have to move to SUSE Linux or Red Hat. You know there are two partners now. One is Red Hat and second is SUSE for SAP applications. Previously, only SUSE is the leading for HANA. Now Red Hat also come into scenario which supports if somebody experts in Red Hat, they go with Red Hat only. If somebody knows SUSE well, they go SUSE only. But here the database has to change because you are on Oracle. DB2 MaxDB or Sybase, any, and you have to move to HANA. It means it's a purely OS DB migration, not OS. Here, Windows also, this database also get changed. So we can call it as a OS DB migration. So steps to remember before moving to HANA. Step to remember, what all steps need to remember before moving to HANA? We have to convert systems from non-Unicode to Unicode, upgrade your SAP systems. Okay, SAP systems means you may be on NetWeaver 7.4, you may be on 7.4, you may be on 7.3, or you may be on 7.5. And by staying there, no problem. But from there, if you want to upgrade to HANA, all in all systems in 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, SAP made a release with latest support pack. If you move on to that pack directly, you can convert your system into HANA, not the present system. You have to do upgrade of your old system, which takes HANA very easily, which captures HANA very easily. You have to take that system as your system. So if you see 7.2, 7.7.4 in this we have support pack 10, 12, 8, 7. Which we have 7.2 we require support pack 18, 7.3 requires 16, 7.0 requires 12. These are the base requirement. If you want 7.4, you have to be at minimum 12 packages. If you want 7.3, you have to be at minimum 16. If 7.2 is minimum 18. Like this, if you jump this, if you jump to this directly, then you can jump to your HANA system directly. But because before releasing HANA, after releasing HANA, for all the releases, they made one enhancement kind of thing. If you implement that into your system, then you can easily jump onto a new server called HANA. Then I'll show you where to check all these things one by one. I made it as a single sign on. Why is asking password again and again?
Oh, is it through your company laptop or?
It's a personal laptop only. Then we have option
So
here.
I don't think single
No,
sign-on.
no, no, we have option over here. If you do that, it will not ask for password directly login because we are not allowed to log in with user ID password. No, most of the times it's a single sign-on only. Then I made this on my laptop, and yesterday I think I removed all my caches from Google and here and there. That's the reason why it's also got removed. I made a bookmark also. If I click that, it will go directly to system. If I would like to log into this, then I have to open my personal office laptop and see the user ID password because I don't have user ID password handy over here. 1 minute, I'll check in mobile. Put it there. 1 minute. Huh? No problem. You just want to go to that support package and packages, and in that you have to choose which 7.3. Here I'll show you 7.3 entry by component application server as a app PA730. And what is the latest patch for this? You can see latest patch is 20. If you are on if you are on 16 17, we have to move on to 20. Then you have to be on latest batch to move on to HANA system, whether it is 7.3 7 you just remember. I'll give you the screen. I'll send you the screen page also to you on a mail. You can check network 7. When you, I think you have a password you sold. User password 7.3 entry by component application server as a web and PI basis. So if you see and check your current level, check your current level. How to check current level? See, this is the way how to check current level. You are on which level at present? Goes to status system, go to status. See, click here. So we are on CB basis 7.4. 7.4004. Okay, 7.4004. But the latest is what? 57.4. 7.4 required minimum 12. 7.4 minimum is required 12. Otherwise, it will not go to our HANA system. Okay. So what you have to do in the system, you have to upgrade this till 16 or this. You have to upgrade this to 12. Not only this, all the components. All the components suppose 12. You have to do all these things. Then only you can able to work with HANA server, or you can move to HANA server without any issues, because you have to fulfill all these prerequisites before think and move to any other database, not only HANA. That you have to fulfill all the prerequisites. Now you see there are two types of migrations. There are two types of migration. One is classical migration upgrade or migration, or HANA upgrade with DMO. One is classical, one is DMO. So what is different between classical and what is different between DMO means? Classical means here what happened, you require more of a downtime. You require more days to do everything, because each week or each after every 15 days you will shut down a system. You need to take a backup of system. All these matlab is creating a mess for you. If anything gets failed, you have to redevelop everything again in the same manner. So here, and we have a procedure an upgrade DMO. If you use this, don't require any downtime. You require only one downtime, by which it will start and complete the upgrade in one go itself, but it will take time. Here what happened? Classical shutdown what happened? You plan today is what 30th of April. You plan a conversion of Unicode. You do it conversion of Unicode. Then give it to testing team. Please test these things. They test positive, negative. They do all regression tests on each of the key, each of the document, each of the POCs. Then the confirmation. They test about 2 days. Then the confirmation. Sir, it's working fine. Or it is not working fine. Depending upon that, you have to work again on that. You spend total 1 week to get update. It's working fine, no problem. Then you have to do SAP upgrade. You have to search SAP. Oh, this is SAP. You have to upgrade not only SAP. You have to upgrade OS also. For OS, you have to go to OS and that to level which supports HANA. The document, it will show you if you are in 7.3 with Windows or Linux with this version, you have to move to this version of Linux from year to year. Then only you can move on to the system. So after that, you have to do some upgrade with okay shutdown after SAP upgrade with a tool called SUM. We have a tool called SUM, which is known as Software Update Manager. With the help of this, you usually move the system which you require. Here we need to make one XML file of your source. It will ask for source system, enter source system. Then it will ask you for the target system. Enter a target system. Then what it will do, it will collect all the required files. It will collect all required files. Sometimes file may be more than 500. Sometimes file may be more than 600. Because when you think about or thought about upgrade, it has to upgrade each and every component. See, I'll show you here. You have to not only this, not only this. This has to match this level, this level, this level. Then almost you have to upgrade all. Some this 17 became 60. This 2 became 8. This one became 10. Like, but you don't do anything. The maintenance planner will take care of this thing. It will download all the files required by you. You have to just specify source system and the target system. Once you specify, then it will download everything. I'll show you one thing. I did recent upgrade on my server. I'll show you in our company server. So you just see how much files it have taken. 1 minute, I'll show you. Just one minute. See, these are patches. Okay, we did upgrade for all the systems. If you see ECC, see how many files are there? 444 items. But then we need to upgrade this thing for some reason. So we downloaded 444 items and put it into some tool where it upgrades C. It will take like this. Previously the version was where it's on. I'll show you how it upgrade. You get some idea out of this, how the system works. 90, 94, 90. It's on 98, 96, 95. This went to 98. At last it went to 99. But from where it started, 87, 85, 84, 82. See all these 76, 77, 67, 64, 58. See from 34 it started. It started from 34 and went to 80 something. See, because if you miss any one of the file, it will not upgrade. It's a disaster. So you never know which file you are missing. So instead of that, you tell system, go and find all my required files. It will find all the required files and make one like this 444 files. You have to keep all these 44 files for upgrade. If somebody deletes this, upgrade will start. But after, if it won't find this file, it will get stuck here itself. You have to again do all reshuffle things. You have to be very careful while downloading, uploading these things. You have to recheck 2-3 times. Otherwise, after 2 days, you will find an error, and your system will not. If you are a good expert, you can add that file to XML file and start from where your error. Otherwise, you have to reshuffle and start things from the beginning. Okay, this is for SAP upgrade, mainly for SAP upgrade. Then shutdown during migrations. Shutdown during migration also, I have some keys, I have some inputs which you have to follow, and you have to do shutdowns 2-3 times while doing migration also. But in DMO we require only one downtime where it can take care of all the things. But in the DMO, when you download like this sum, we have a tool called DMO which we discussed yesterday. You have to download this tool properly, okay, and we have to run this tool. Once you run, what it will do? It will convert your system to Unicode. If it is Unicode, it will not work. If it is already Unicode, it will not work. But you skip the step. Or in Unicode version, it will upgrade to latest level. Okay. If you are Unicode version, no problem. But Unicode shows on which patch you are. If you are Unicode in 2016, but they need Unicode of 2020, the support pack will increase. Then it will work with that upgrade, latest level. It will upgrade Unicode, it will upgrade to the latest level. What it does, it will upgrade your system, Unicode system to the latest level with the help of this DMO, data migration option. And it will do SAP upgrade. Even if you are on 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, you have to see everything properly and you have to collect all these files which I suggest and put in a right manner. There is a folder called, so the folder. So this is a folder, this is a path. You have to put all your files. This is a path. You have to put all your upgrade files one by one. Okay. If you suffice all these things properly, when it upgrades to Unicode version, then SAP version, then it will start ANA migration, but it will take a time. Like it may take 36 hours, it may take uh, 40 hours also it may take. It's all depending upon how much time it spends on Unicode version, because SAP upgrade all alone will take minimum 13-14 hours downtime. Okay, for doing the SAP upgrade, in the SAP upgrade also we have many steps to do. I'll show you the steps what we have to do. Just give a overview what we can do for the SAP upgrade. 1 minute. Huh?
What about the data files? Like, how does it migrate actually? Can you tell
Yeah,
me
well,
those?
I'm coming there. I'm coming there. Yeah, this is a simple step. This is for SAP upgrade, because before doing all these things, you should know how you do this SAP upgrade. This is not important for you. Yeah, from here. Okay. So it will take minimum 36 hours depending upon the version to version, how much time it will take, the exact time. You first you do it in as a development and the quality and sandbox, then you come to production, you have to give exact time. This much time I'll take, even it's EHP 4, 5, 6, which is the version, which is the version, no problem. But here what we need to do, yeah, this we covered. Step to follow prerequisite, you have to back up your whole system first, because if anything goes wrong, you can rely on your old system also. For this upgrade, for migration also, upgrade also, you do any activity, you need to have a cold backup of your whole system, because at any step if you fails and if you not succeed for next 2-3 days, then you can restore your system to the last level. That is the good habit of all the consultants. They have to when minimum in the upgrade, you have to take 4 backups. In this upgrade, you have to take 4 backups, like before starting, in middle 2 times, and after final 1 time. Total 4 backups you have to keep reserve properly for next 2 months. When client give approval, everything working fine, till that time you have to keep everything in a with you only. Even it's a 1 terabyte, you have to take 4 terabytes from your office and keep all those things. Otherwise, because many times it happens, keep you ready system, you have 4 backups and go to client and you remove all those backups, and after client comes, this is not working, that is not working, then and you don't have backups also to restore to that level, because you given system with all proper things, but client has not using properly and they demolish the system for some reasons, or they are not able to do proper. So you have to keep the 4 backups for a minimum 2.5 months. When all consultants and all end users working fine with your environment, then you can go and delete. First backup, this first backup which you take cold backup, this one that you can delete after you upgrade. This you can delete. This you have to keep till upgrades. When upgrade finishes properly, then you can delete. But doing migration, doing upgrade, you take 3 backups. Now you have to keep those 3 backup reserve, because you have, if you restore first backup, you went to 1 point. If you restore second point, you went to 1 point, because once downtime started before down, because you reach downtime after 14 hours. So when you reach there, you have to take 1 backup. If anything fails, you can restore to tell that point. After that, the downtime starts. You have to take uh, after downtime system, when you rebuild the system and system is ready to deliver to the client, before doing any post steps, you have to take 1 more backups before post steps. Okay, the third backup and a fourth backup when system is live and you hand over to the client tomorrow or today backup. But you can judge yourself when customer come to you and telling ki this is not working, then you can tell ki you can judge ki on which database you have to restore yourself, or first backup, second backup, or third backup. You have to keep all these things preserved for next 2.5 months. And see, this is a space requirement. You just see this document. This is a space requirement. Because sometimes what happen, your upgrade fails because of the space issue. Because when you start upgrade, it will continuously writing a logs, as you know. In SQL also, when you find a query, you don't do any upgrade, started writing queries in a huge form. We need minimum 50 GB space only for the queries. 10 GB space here. 50 GB, you need to have minimum 120 to 30 GB of space, and you have to allocate the space in different locations. In SAP, you're talking about, we have some directory, download directory, trans directory, and shadow system. All these are for small scenarios. If you upgrade a big systems with terabytes of data, this all gets increased. Like I give you example, as you work, you're expert in SQL. So for development quality, we keep SQL on simple mode, and production we never keep it simple mode because we need a log files for that. Exact,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
The development quality we don't require in log files. So it won't write a log files also. So here in Oracle also what happened? Here when update is going on, so we need to, if system fails, we need a logs to check why system fails. That is the reason why we need to keep log always up and running. And it takes some more of a space. Sometimes it writes in GBs, continuously writing in GBs. So we need to give a sufficient space, sufficient table space. Okay, like last week only we have done one SQL upgradation. I was not there. It was a production one. So when they started, after taking back, no, there was an issue. Sorry, there was an issue in production server. The first what they done, they made it to simple first for some time. They change some settings on production. They make it simple. Then when issue gets resolved, then they again make the logs. And I think they removed some files from here and there because I was not there in call. I was stuck up with some other issue on that day. Because we are getting all these calls every day nowadays. You understood now how space is required for doing upgrade?
yeah,
And this prerequisite, you have to take care, you have to talk to SAP about the hardware, what hardware you have. Sometimes what happens, you start upgrade without knowing the hardware, and upgraded phase because hardware might suffice. It's not recommended for HANA or anything. You have to check with the vendor also. I am having this hardware, this many CPUs, this is the RAM. It is compatible to move to Oracle to HANA. Because if you purchase hardware before 2 years and you using that hardware only, which is not supporting HANA, or you have to upgrade the hardware with the new hardware which supports HANA. You have to take all this. I'll do one thing. I'll send this document to you also. Okay. And is checking the software requirements. You are download. This is what I showed you this year, which we downloaded for 460 files and all. And we have, if you have time, you just search this feature, maintenance planner. These are cloud-based solutions. Previously, we don't have this. Before 3 years, 4 years down the line, we don't have this. We have to manually go and do all this thing. But now we have you just go and Google, just type maintenance planner. It will take you to the site, but it will allow you site to work on when you give user ID password. Because when you work as a business consultant or HANA consultant, you will get user ID password from the company itself, the client itself. You can open this, but you cannot access. You cannot work unless you have the user ID password to access this maintenance planner. Okay. And checking the source system release of the SAP system. Checking the source release system, but that this support pack I'm talking about. Okay. And meeting the operating system requirements. But if the operating system is this much, to move to HANA, it will we have some documents where it tell if for an SUSE Linux 12.4, then move to 15.4 or is give, and it will give some support packs also or OS level patches also. And when you move to that, then only you can do, because when you think about migration to HANA or any, not on migration, any small or big HANA, the preparation only takes 3 months. Preparation, not like today it is think and tomorrow you're going to do. No, it will take, if you want to do exact solid migration or solid things to a company or to a people which people can remember for years, you have to plan it for 3 months. All these things check for 3-4 times exactly. But once you start firing a DMO command, so at that time don't come back saying that I missed that, I missed this, I missed that. Even if it's the first time for you, you have to prepare like all those things. So as you said, you have this access in a weekend. If you have time, please access this to get a more information. And if you have any query, come back to me at any time. Not on migration, for anything, because I'm using this for many years, so I know all the loopholes on this website. You can come back to me for any reason. After course also you can come back, no problem. These are the patches. See, these are some. These are some. No, this is SWP, not some. And now we jump on to the phases. What all phases you require for doing these things. See, upgrade. When you start upgrade your SAP systems, DMO, all this take for DMO internally. Okay, but logs will let you know where you are at present. You have to follow these commands, and if you have to work on URL, just fire this command. You will get a URL, and then this is the main step. First step is initialization phase, where it initialize all your 440 files. It will initialize all 440 files and checks whether all files are properly indexed and properly tuned. If it's not able to get any file, it will show you this file is missed. Go and keep this file in, because it initializes all the files from top to bottom, from source release to target release. When it finds all the files, then only it will give a next highlight. Otherwise, next will be get disabled. Then if you see logs, you say key 3 files are missing, 4 files are missing. When everything is fine, it will give a next phase. Then when you jump on to next phase, it will extract. What this will do? This will extract all the files, 440 files. Like when you download from marketplace, those are in zip formats. SAR, SAP uses SAR format, .sar. Like Windows, we use zip format. SAP uses SAR format, .sar. So all these SAR formats, then it converts all SAR formats into machine understandable language. It takes more time for extraction. And in this, it will ask for DDIC password and one more thing. Before doing all this thing, you have to keep all the passwords handy, because in between it will ask you for any of the password, DDIC password, SAP star password with 00 client, 001 client, 006 client, or 800 client. You have to keep everything handy in front of you. Whenever it asks, give that. Otherwise, you have to wait till you give this information. Otherwise, it will not go. And if you give wrong passwords few times, the system will get locked. Again, it's a big problem for you. System will get locked. If you use password for 5 times or more than 5 times, your system will be get locked. So before starting, check these passwords. If you forget password, no worry. Ask network team to reset a password. Ask security team to reset a password. But don't enter a wrong password. Otherwise, it will be a mess for you. Okay. Then the parts come of configuration. Parts come of configuration. Here, mainly we choose standard option. Here in configuration, what we configure how many, like we have some batch jobs, some R3, I'm talking about SAP. We have some batch jobs running, some DDL jobs running, okay, some R3 jobs running. And for all these jobs, we have to keep uptime and downtime and the number of processes. Like you can keep 6, you can keep 7, you can keep 10, but they have got some calculations. Like if you have less hardware and you keep more value, system will be down. If you have a more values, if you give less, if you have more of a hardware, if you give less value, system will be slow. So we have some calculations for this. Okay, if you search on net, you will get calculations for this much RAM, this much CPU. You can keep batch this many up and this many down. Like if you give exact figure for this, then it will run properly. If you give less number of processes, no problem. But if you give more, system will down. If you give less, it will run, but it will take 1 or 2 more hours to complete the things. Okay. And now the phase comes the check phase. Check phase means this is the last phase where it checks for the data. As I mentioned, the space and all. Here finally it checks for the spaces. Which space is less, database space or table space, or anywhere is space left, or any tables need to be created. Okay. So it will check all those things, and you have to fill all the. Sometimes we need to prepare on table space also, and you have to increase table space also, because logs are writing in a more in a manner. Okay. So after this, you have to take one backup. Because anything hampering after this, because this is the main phase where many people gets failed. If you have one backup here, if this thing fails, you can restore till here and you can start from here again. We need one backup here for sure. We need one backup here, because if you fails on 5th, 6th or 7th, 8th, 7th phase, then you can restore till here and start again from pre-process. If you don't have backup, then you have to start from here again, from here. So take backup, keep it safe. Then the pre-processing phase will come. When the pre-processing phase will come, where system started upgrade. Here you need to shut down your system. From this time, system will not be available to the users. Take a cold backup here, because in this and this there are 5 hours gap to come to this complete this step. It will 5 to 6 hours. Once the steps are all properly done, take one more backup here, because you struggle for 5 to 6 hours and with many errors. Take one backup here, and this is the real execution phase where your some started upgrading your SAP system as per your requirement. As for requirement means, as you proceed as source release 7.4 support pack 8 and target release 7.4 support pack 18, that we start writing things in execution phase. Okay, this phase, the some actual update in the system and downtime begin phase this takes a long time. This phase will take 12 hours, minimum 12 hours to complete this phase. And once this phase complete, you have to take backup telling that key, my all executions are completed. Test some scenarios, then you can conclude key, you are ready, your system is ready now with the upgrade version. Where to check upgrade version? Here only. After upgrade, you have to check system here whether you are meeting your requirements or not. Here, it will show all these things upgraded. You have to take screenshot of pre and post. All this will get changed. For system upgrade, all this will come with a new version. Everything, but because remember one thing, if this thing will get changed, depending upon that, everything gets changed. With that, to access SAP upgrade is successful. Your SAP now you complete Unicode testing at the SAP upgrade, both complete successfully. Then what you have to do? You have to do some post steps. Take backup here, and after that you have to do post processing. Post processing means you have to. I think it will take one and a half day to do post processing, not in DMO. Like I'm talking about SAP upgrade, because you need to delete all old jobs, all HTML configurations, and you need to run some new commands over there. Where we can say is the post installation step, post upgrade steps. And called it as a post upgrade steps. Okay. So once you complete post upgrade steps, then your system is ready to